I want to try something. We simply must try this. What happens? Hmm? All right. What happens? What happens? What happens? What happens? Wow, you can actually get pretty far out, huh? That's as far as you can go. That's as far. Yeah, aw, so sad. I wanted to go further. All right. So, the new DLC for Atomfall is pretty amazing. Now, I know a lot of people criticize the game for being kind of on the short side, or maybe they didn't feel like there was enough meat and potatoes on the plate when the game first launched. I kind of disagreed with that. I know that some people was talking about like, oh, I finished the game in 5 hours. Other people like, I only finished the game in 10 hours. I only finished the game in 15 hours. Well, again, it does come down to you can stay as long as you want in Adam Fall's world, and you can explore it and you can uncover its mysteries, you know. But if you were really like a little disappointed that the game wasn't like 60 or 90 hours long, I don't know why you would be disappointed with that. I was thinking back earlier today. If I'm not mistaken, like the early Stalker games, weren't they only like 10 or 12 hours long? Like, and you gotta imagine, like, people are put hundreds of hours in Stalker, the original trilogy. One of those games they could put hundreds of hours in. And holy cow, right? That's dedication. But the actual game itself wasn't really that long. Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2, those games were not very long. The original ones? No, I don't think they were. So I feel like Atomfall, in terms of its length, it really comes down to how interested you are in the world. But if you still felt like there needed to be more to the game, I think the DLC really adds that. I mean, I've been playing 4 or 5 hours, and I know I'm nowhere near finished. I do have some criticisms. One being that even though the island is so well designed, it's so interesting to explore, it's quite dense to where when I'm picking a fight with some of the druids and I'm in the infested woods, because it's so dense and foliage is everywhere, too often will I see a druid somewhere beyond the trees spinning in circles. He wants to engage me, but his AI, the AI that, drives him to move around, is struggling to find a legit path to get to me. And I can kind of see like where there might be a problem there because the AI in this game is used to bigger maps like Skethamore, Casterfell Woods, Slatendale, where even though, I mean, the maps are they're not congested, right? They're not like empty or anything, but they're not congested. So the AI feels less hesitant and a little bit freer to engage with me when I'm pestering it. And in this world, like in this map here, it's like you can't move around. Like you can't like walk through bushes. You have to move around them, and I think it's so congested. Like the AI is not really sure. Like it has to stop and think and move in circles. It's silly, but yeah, they got to work on that. Enemy pathing, right? The AI, they got to work on that. Uh, the investigation leads on the island that lead you toward new endings. I have done every ending until the DLC dropped. And I know that they added new endings to the game. and I am pursuing those endings, but I have no plans on going back to the Windscale facility anytime soon. I've been there 6 or 7 times. So when I see a new NPC be like offering me a new quest to explore, I'm totally into it. But when they start talking about how, oh, wow, we can't do anything until you kill Oberon, I'm like, honey, I have killed Oberon. I have killed Oberon. I have helped Oberon grow. I have set fire to Oberon. I have poisoned Oberon. I have blown Oberon up. Yes, I will at some point return to the Windscale plant and torture poor Oberon some more for different endings, but I'm not interested in that. So there's a little bit of a fatigue setting in to the idea of having to go back and kill Oberon. Because there's this one quest where it's like, oh, well, we need you to get this special knife. And I'm having a great time. And I did grab the knife, right? Obviously. And she's like, oh, well, we're going to get out of here, but first you got to kill Oberon. I'm like, of course I have to kill Oberon. So, I will. So my plan is I want to exhaust all the stuff on the island. But in terms of picking an ending, I'm not. I'm not saying I'm sick of the facility, but I'm kind of saying I'm sick of the facility. I'm just enjoying everything else about the game. All right, because again, I've been there 6 or 7 times. The one thing that could actually compel me right now to go back to the Windscale facility would be to find that final comic book. All right, because I like my comic book collection, and there is a comic book in there somewhere. I gotta find it because I want to read it. You know, so I feel like the next DLC they roll out with, maybe just focus on adding more side content to the game and less about adding more endings, because if you're like me, you've been in there. You've been in there, you've slapped everything around. And there toward the end when I was doing my endings just to see what all happened for each version, I just turned it all the way down on difficulty. I turned it all the way down on explorer mode because I'm not going to fight my way through that place every single time I want to see an ending. You know what I mean? So these new endings they're offering for the game, it's like, do I really want it? Not right now. I'm just kind of having the time of my life exploring the world. So I do hope that they consider uh, putting a patch in where, they can address the enemy AI issues. Because, yeah, it needs it. It needs it, you know. It is kind of silly. Trying to take on the enemies, and some of them are running away for no real reason, and when you're in the infested woods because it's so congested with trees and shrubbery and bushes, the poor AI is just running in a circle. It's like, okay, which path should I take? Do I have a path? How do I get around these bushes? You can see it thinking, and I feel sorry for them. I almost don't want to fight the druids in the forest because I feel like I'm just picking on them. Even worse than I already pick on the enemies in this game. So yeah, I hope they take care of that. But yeah, if you're worried about the DLC, like if you had any criticisms about Atomfall not having enough content to engage you, this is more. This is more. It's definitely more, and I'm having a great time with it. But that's because I love the game. I love the game. So yeah. But as far as going back over there to, do something to Oberon again and again and again, that part I'm kind of over, especially like right now. Because again, I went over there like several times, right? I got all the endings. I wanted to see what happened. And now they're offering me more endings. And I'm like, yeah, but I gotta go over there. I gotta do the same thing to get a different cutscene, and I'm just not in the mood for that. So I'm doing everything in the world. I'm exploring the world. I'm engaging with the content. But everything that says you got to go back to the factory or the facility, I'm like, yeah, I'll get back with you on that particular part, right? But everything that leads up to that, I'm exploring it. I'm exploring all the branches and stuff. Um, again, I want to say probably about 3 or 4 hours. And again, I know I'm not nearly done checking out this island and learning all its secrets. So, yeah, there's a lot of content here. The way I play Atomfall, it takes me usually, when I do a serious run, which doesn't even include the facility, it takes me probably about 18, 20 hours because I'm exploring every lead. I'm allowing the people to send me out into the world to complete objectives for them. That gets me exploring the interchange, it gets me exploring the different parts of the map. I read messages, I go investigate them. Usually it takes about 18, 20 hours. And this is adding this, I don't know, 4 or 5 more hours, and I'm not even finished with it. So, I mean, if people were worried about like more like bang for your buck, from the very beginning, I thought there was plenty of bang for your buck. But again, I play games like the original Dead Space games, and it doesn't take, again, Stalker takes about, I don't know, 12, 15 hours to finish the first Stalker game. I think it was even less than that for one of the was it Clear no, Clear Sky was there was a lot to do there. Call of Pripyat probably about 12 hours, maybe 10. So, if you think there needs to be 100 hours worth of content to justify the price of a game, obviously you are a very particular kind of player. So if you want a game that lasts 100, 200 hours, for 60, $70, obviously this is not the game for you. But if you like a nice explore at your own pace, choose your own ending, choose your own adventure kind of open world, but not it doesn't take 500 hours to finish. Yeah, this is a great game. Um, but yeah, I do hope that they get onto they get around to revisiting the enemy AI for this particular DLC because these enemies sometimes I feel like they don't know what to do with the environment. Right. Ooh, shit. No, no. How tough is the DLC? It can be very challenging. Very challenging. I, I'm, I'm actually going through some of my resources to keep up with all the action that's going on around me. And that's okay. Because what are you going to do with all those resources anyway? That's why you have them, right? To use them. So I think that's cool. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to give this DLC base game. I mean, for me, Atomfall is a 9 out of 10. I feel like the DLC just makes it even better. It's just even that much more of a solid 9 out of 10. I dig it. I love it. Yes, this was definitely worth the wait. But yeah, hopefully they fix the enemy AI a little bit. That would be great. But anyway, yeah, those are my initial thoughts. I've played this game off and on throughout the day. 3 or 4 hours, that's a lot of time. I think Dead Island 2, its DLCs were anywhere from, they were like 3 hours a piece, something like that. And here I am 3 or 4 hours and I know, I just feel it in my heart. I'm not finished. I got so much to do around here. I got, I'm so nosy. I need to know everything. What's that over there? There's a house over here. I need to explore that. Yeah, yeah. If you are a really nosy person like me, oh, there's some of them plants. I need to go play catch with those plants with my sticky bombs. They're over there for a reason. There's something over there. I probably need to get out my metal detector when I go over there too. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good. This is great. This is great. Rebellion really outdid themselves with this. And even though this map doesn't look that big, it's 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 big. It's big enough. It's got a lot of meat and potatoes on this plate, and it only adds to the experience. So anyway, yeah, great DLC. Having an awesome time with it. I want them to fix the enemy AI. It's struggling a little bit with this new environment that they put it in. Um, as far as having to go back over to the wind scale, I already knew that was going to happen, but I completely plan on ignoring most of those requests until I feel like actually going over there. But there's nothing I haven't done to Oberon that I haven't already done to Oberon. There's nothing I can do to Oberon that I haven't already done to him, I should say. All right, poor Oberon. I've killed that poor thing I don't know how many times. So, yeah, hopefully the next DLC, like I said, they will offer us more side content based stuff, right? Like I'm loving the content, but it doesn't all have to lead back to the wind scale facility, right? Which some of the content in the game doesn't. So yeah, just maybe some more side content for the next DLC, or like a prequel, sort of take us back to the events that led up to this mess, right? So maybe the next DLC will take us into the facility and lead us into the events that led to this catastrophe. Who knows? That would be cool too. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video once I have finished. I don't really think so because I don't think I'm going to have any more to say about this DLC that'll be different than what I'm saying here. I think 3 or 4 hours of this DLC and what I'm expecting out of it, I can easily say it right now. I don't have to wait for the end. Because what will be the end? The end is just simply going over there and, you know, attacking poor Oberon again. So yeah, that's not necessary. It's not necessary right now. I don't want to do that. I've done that too many times. So anyway, you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Woof! Woof! It's so funny. We've never actually been this close to the facility. It looks wild from here, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, you definitely know where trouble is. And there is a lot of trouble there.